Addy, thanks so much for being with me. It's
Thanks
good
for
to see you
having me.
again.
I know.
It was like, what, 2 years ago that we connected? And now we're connecting here again, which is an amazing place to connect, amazing event to connect.
Yes.
But just to quickly introduce you, you are the head of music for Africa at YouTube.
Yes.
And you've been
correct.
having that position for how many years?
Ooh, 3 years now?
3 years.
Yes.
Time flies.
I know.
Right. I remember last time we talked, you were telling me how you were pushing more the emerging and already like the well-known, established, content creators as well as artists coming onto continent. Tell me a little bit about your work and how you've been doing that.
Yeah, so I think when I started my role, African music was still growing. I mean, it still is, but where we are now and where we were 3 years ago, huge difference. I mean, now we have a category for African music at the Grammys. We have African artists selling out.
MSG?
Yes, just selling out shows and performing in like globally in Brazil, in Mexico, in South Korea. So, it's just incredible to see, and a lot of people get to follow their journey on YouTube. So a lot of people get to discover this artist outside of their music. People want to get to know what they're like. They want to watch their interviews. They want to see behind the scenes, and a lot of that content lives on YouTube. So what we try and do is just help amplify that so that people can get to know more of their favorite artists or discover new artists coming out from Africa.
In your industry, how are you helping to make Africa more competitive?
Ooh, more competitive. I mean, I think a lot of people get to see the good thing about the digital world now is you see what other people are doing. And so you're like, okay, I need to make sure my content is up to par.
Or even better.
Yes. You see like industries like K-pop, and you just see the incredible stuff that they're doing, or Latin music. And so African artists are inspired by them. And I think Africans were just naturally competitive.
Oh yeah, especially Nigerian.
We're just naturally competitive, so people want to push themselves, people want to just do better. And so by virtue of, having an open world because of the digital ecosystem, it's inspiring people and making them want to strive and do better.
Nice, I love that. So since from the first year to this year, your third year, I know when you were entering the space, or even the YouTube, maybe you had a mission. How can people help you with your mission? And what is the mission?
Well, when I started this role, I said I wanted to amplify African music and culture everywhere. And that still is my mission. Like, it's not just about what we're doing on the continent or even just like, globally. It's everywhere. We want people that are growing on the continent. We want to give them the tools, the resources to help them develop. You want to make sure that the ecosystem is healthy, because for an artist to be successful, they need an ecosystem of people to help them. They need a manager, they need a lawyer, they need, a videographer. So how do you enable that ecosystem? So we have programs that support community organizations or organizations in general, or music schools that are providing, because again, when people think creative economy, they're thinking the talent, not realizing that for the talent to be successful, they need a whole team around them.
Resources.
So enabling that, and I think more people going into that industry and realizing that I can actually earn a living being a videographer or being a designer. I think years ago, Africans, that wasn't even on the. It was a hobby.
Right. It wasn't even on the
it
on the
bar. It wasn't on the radar to say I want to be a fashion designer
or a content creator.
Or content creator and make a living out of it. But now you can, and so encouraging people and watching their content, investing in their content is how you can help the economy grow.
And I saw you do exactly that yesterday when you had a panel and you brought 4, 5 content creators, and you amplified them by creating that panel and saying, hey, tell your story to the audience here in South Africa. So you're doing that not just with YouTube, but also outside of, outside of YouTube. So it sounds like your mission is moving forward.
Thank you.
And I just love, seeing you from when you started to now. I mean, and hearing about the work and how it's been growing since then.
And even those creators, one, it was their first time ever hearing about this event. It was their first time ever being at this event. The UN sounds so serious. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it sounds so exclusive.
sounds so exclusive,
Yeah.
sounds so serious, sounds so old.
Yeah, yeah, true,
To
true.
be honest. So a
Yeah.
lot of the creators just didn't think that was a space they were invited to. And so to be invited to come speak and tell their story and have a room full of people.
Thanks in part to
listening-
you.
Thank you. Listening to them was just super encouraging and inspiring for those creators and their audience. Their audience is asking them, "Where are you? What is this?" And they're sharing.
And some of them
more. So-
came. Some of the audience came.
Yeah, so it's a great like win-win actually for the UN too.
Why are events like Unstoppable Africa so important?
It spotlights Africa. It showcases not only what we can do, but brings us together for collaboration, for opportunities. The Africa creative economy is a space that African countries are starting to realize that, okay, this is a thing.
Yeah, what's happening over there, right?
what's
Especially
happening
even
over there?
Afrobeats. We've been talking about Afrobeats forever. They just now, like
Exactly.
MSG, someone sold out.
Yeah.
How, you know?
Exactly.
So,
So
yeah.
events like this help to spotlight,
Exactly.
industries, like new industries like the creative economy.
Very well said. That was a good answer. Anything else that I didn't mention that you wanted to maybe highlight with yourself or before we get to the
No,
last
I mean, I
question?
think we're just excited to be here. We got really great feedback about the panel. People were saying we need to be on the main stage next year.
There we go.
Creators, young people need to be on the main stage next year, not a side event, because people really want to hear their stories. And these guys are building businesses.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
creators said, you know what, I employ 5 people. I have to pay
They have,
salaries.
I heard they had lawyers. Like, how do you have the money to have all
Yeah,
these people behind you?
Exactly. They have LLCs, they're building companies,
Yes.
and so being on the main stage so that they have access to investors, to policymakers will help, push the industry forward.
And that's all tied into your mission.
Yes.
Which your personal mission and mission with YouTube. What is your commitment to making Africa unstoppable?
I would say showcasing Africa and amplifying Africa everywhere, anywhere, whenever chance I get.
Why?
Because people need to know that Africa is great and there's so much magic coming out of the continent. So why not?
Very well said. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was
Oh, he
amazing.
said no.